Hello there again, friends and family. I guess you can see what's going on. Here in the deep south right now, a rare event is happening. Yep. We're having the snowpocalypse right now. Yep, we even got snow tornadoes coming. Or have been coming. We surely have. This is a rare event for this far south. I'm not sure how well y'all can see it, but we're going to take a drive. Now, it's currently not cold enough to freeze on the roads. So don't y'all worry that we're out here being foolish, because we're not. We're just doing some historical documentation, you might say. And the folks don't like it when it's this cold. And I can't blame her. We're going to have to kick up this heat just a little bit more if y'all don't mind. Woo! At least with all of y'all in here, that body heat will heat up the car some. I mean, it was cold enough this morning where when I went to do kitty crew chow, because when I laid down last night, around 2 in the morning, by the way, working on YouTube. Yep. It was 49. But when I got up, it was 34. And this is what I awoke to as I was staring out the window, preparing my coffee. Then I fired up YouTube again, and all these storm chasers are out and about all throughout the southeast, all the way up the east coast through Georgia, the Carolinas, up into Virginia and what have you. And yes, my friends, welcome to 2022 and the southern snow apocalypse with Mr. Tom, your southern storm chaser, out here bringing it to you. Not quite live, but we're in it anyway. And it's snowing rather briskly, as you can see. And we're currently heading further north. So hang on, y'all. Make sure you're buckled in, because we're going to ride a little bit on the wild side. More normal, I might add. Now, I don't anticipate any accumulation today, but it is darn right pretty. And many don't think it snows in the south. Well, and granted, this far south, only about an hour from the coast as the crow flies, 2 hours by car, that would be pretty much the case. It don't snow a lot. But when it does, as most of you know, it shuts us down. If this was a weekday, which this is not, this is Sunday, January what? The 15th? I believe. Could be the 16th. Don't hold me to it. We have this. Woo! I ain't seen it this much snow falling. Oh, in probably about 6 years. when we do have snow, and like I say, if it was a weekday, businesses open, factories and schools, of course everything be closing. That's just what we do. And people up sort of further north make fun of us all the time. We don't mind. You see, we don't got them plows. We don't have salt trucks. We don't have any of that stuff. Why? Because it's extremely rare for this to happen. And you can see in some places it's really snowing heavy, in other places sort of medium. But as much as I don't want to be out here, now 34-degree weather, with my old bones, I couldn't miss the opportunity to take y'all along a ride on a snowy Sunday in the deep south for a ride. It may be years before we see it again, or it may just be next week, the way things are going in 2022. And I told you wrong. It's the 16th. You get old, you get retired, you lose track of time. But then again, what's it really matter? It don't. And the Focus doesn't have four-wheel drive, but the road's just wet. Like I say, it's not accumulating. The road's just too warm. I am seeing just a tad accumulation on the ground in some places. You know, just you look on the side of the road real quick. Yep. I doubt it'll cover up the grass. That's even a rare occasion. And we may be driving out of it. Uh-oh. There's a pine tree fell. Got a little too heavy, I guess. And see, herein lies the problem we always face when there is a wintry mix. Yep. Rather than get snow, we'll get sleet and freezing rain, and we go from having snowstorm to having an ice storm. And it's been quite a few years since we had a really devastating one. And I don't even remember the year. It's been that long. Now, you know, at my age, it don't take all that long for me to forget. But it knocked people's power out for up to 2 weeks in some of the more rural areas. I'm hoping that will not be the case today. But never fear, at the old home place, we got that covered too. Got plenty of heat, plenty of water, plenty of ways to cook our food, and we'll be just fine. The funny thing was, the kitty crew was really freaked out about this morning when I went out. They did not quite know what to make of it. Because in their short lifetime, now going on 2 years, they never seen nothing like it in their lives. As soon as I went out, Spooky was just all in a frizzle. Papa, there's white stuff falling all over me. I'm afraid I'm going to turn into a white kitty. Yep, Spooky was freaking out. Speedy, she was just crying insanely. So I gave them their breakfast. I went to go back inside, and take care of little Gracie. And Spooky, not Speedy, decided he wanted to come inside. I didn't even make it to the kitchen. Poor Spooky, nope, I want to go back out. So I let him go back out. You know, and people worry about them. They need to be inside. You know, every year I watch their coats change. Ooh, snow's starting to accumulate more. And get thicker and fill more in, and they get the under hair and the over hair. Yep, even this morning, when I let them back out and went outside with them to watch the snow, I said, man, why didn't you stay in? Fireplace is on, house is all warm and toasty. Papa's spending money. He said, Papa, I got my polar parka on. We'll be fine. We're going to watch the white stuff. Me and Speedy. We ain't ever seen this before in our life. I said, well, you gave me an idea. Let me go in and see if I can round up the peoples. You know, our friends and family. And see if they all want to go for a ride on this snowy Sunday too. And so here we are. Braving it further north. Picking up again. Yep, starting to see that snow on the side of the roads peek up through the grass tips. Oh yeah, starting to cover up the roofs. Makes you want to start singing that song about White Christmas. Except, you know, Christmas has been over for a month now. One thing about the Pocus, maybe it's because all of y'all are in here too. It gets warm quick. No, it's starting to look pretty. That's the one thing I do miss. From my time up in Pennsylvania and New York State, growing up in my early childhood, it was no matter how bad the world looked, you know, no matter how nasty it looked, because, you know, my first years were in a paper mill town, and there seemed to be cinders all over everything. I guess that was from the power generation plant that burnt coal, of course. It's Pennsylvania, right? Johnsonburg, to be exact. Woo! Starting to cover up the tree limbs. And things get a little dingy looking. But that first snowfall made everything look pure and beautiful again. I've always been amazed by that sight. Just like I'm amazed with this now. Now, if you ever watch that little slideshow video I did one time of past times in deep South Bama, you'll see back in the past, this has happened too. A snowy day in the deep South of Alabama too. Yeah, sort of funny. Looking at pecan trees covered in snow. But it ain't gonna be funny on all the pines we got growing around here. Nope. Our southern pines, primarily loblolly, they don't take snow well. And I got a pile of them on the back property line too. Next to power lines. Not good. But hopefully this will move through before too much starts accumulating on the trees and the power lines. Well, there's my closest cell tower. Hence why my cell service, excuse my language ladies, sucks. Sometimes I got it, sometimes I don't. Of course, right now, I got jam up service. Oh yeah. Trees are starting to get covered, structures. Look at all the roofs. more and more starting to accumulate on the ground. Ain't gonna last. And I'll bet people are freaking out. Because that's what we do in the South. And if it does accumulate on the ground any, the little ones, they'll come out and they'll build them some snowmen and snow women. They're never like on TV all pristine white, because you never get that much snow, so you know you got to ball up all the leaves and twigs too. Yep. It's sort of the Charlie Brown snowman down here. You know what I mean. And if you live in the South, you'll know exactly what I mean. It's still snowing vigorously. Whew. Like I said, with y'all in the car, it's getting toasty. Yeah, if I could carry a tune, I could be singing along all the songs you want to sing on a snowy winter day. But I got them playing in my mind from days long ago, when I too, as a child, played in the snow. We're heading northbound, State Highway 49. Don't worry, folks got a full tank. We got water. We got some of them there survival bars in the glove box. We got fire starter stuff with us. Cell phone. We got everything we need. Now the one thing we here in the South, especially this far in the South, don't have, that would be winter clothing. No, we ain't got none of them there big winter jackets or coats that go down to your knees. We ain't got none of them parkas. We might have a medium weight jacket. And if we have worked outside or plan on to, we just might, which I do, have a pair of Carhartts insulated coveralls. I have a pair. My son gave them to me for Christmas a few years back, because he didn't want the old man getting all cold and shaky when he was outside working in the yard. I think I've worn them once. They're thick, they're heavy. It don't take too long when you're sweating. So yeah, we don't have a lot of winter outer gear. Nope, we ain't got none of those little rubber things stick over your shoes like Mama and Grandma used to put on my shoes, cover them up when we went to school. Ain't got none of them goulashers that I remember, or those boots. You remember them? They were rubber boots. I guess those were the goulashers. And they had those little clasp types things that you hooked and then bent over. Yeah, I wonder if they still make them. Those would jam up, keep snow out. And of course we had our snow suits. I remember them. They were so thick. Once Mama got us into them, you couldn't even put your arms down. You looked like some type of stuffed doll or a scarecrow. Your arms were almost out at 45-degree angles. And then you sort of kind of had to walk stupid too. But they didn't want us freezing and getting cold. There wasn't much harm in that happening in your snowsuit back in the day. Because we didn't have all these high-tech insulating materials, so they had to make them really, really thick. Well, it's getting thinner the further we're going north. Of course, I did see on weather radar there are patches of just what's showing up as rain. And this is getting more sleety than snowy. Of course, by the looks of what little accumulation there is, it was more snowy earlier. But should we have another Ice-ageddon, which I am hoping, and I have already prayed to our Father God that we don't, I'm prepared. Unfortunately, most of the South will not be. And with the other situation currently going on throughout the world, you know, having enough linemen to get all the power back up all the way through the South and East Coast, oh, it'll take a while. Surely it will. Well, other than being slap beautiful up here, the further north we go, the snow is getting smaller. But it's supposed to be out and should be moved through my area by, I'm thinking, around 12 to 2 o'clock this afternoon. And our high today, even though it's not going to be that high, it's supposed to be 40. So as you can see, even though I prayed, because you just never know, I'm not real worried about Snowageddon becoming Ice-ageddon down where I'm at. But you can already see the pines and cedars, how they start to weep down just from this little bit of snow. Don't take a lot. They're just not made for it. Well, nothing in the South made for snow. Now, what I'll bet, like always, and this has been all my life that I've lived in the South, it starts snowing, people got to get out in their four-wheel drives. And they're all wheel drive vehicles. Try them out. Especially when it gets on the roads. But, oh yeah. You know. And then comes the foolish statement, well, I don't worry. Well, I got four-wheel drive. Well, here in the South, you ain't got the right tires for it. At least I remember that. You got to have them thing called snow tires. And then most of the time, we here in the South tend to let our tires wear down to, you know, sort of shiny on the bottom side, if you know what I mean. Yep. Some of that's due to lack of money. Other for just not paying attention. Ooh, there we go. Almost got the grass covered. If you would have asked me this week what I'd be doing on Sunday, the one answer I wouldn't have gave you was out driving through the snow apocalypse of January 2022. Nope. Would never been something I would have said or even guessed. I'm starting to become quite a storm chaser here in the South, as many of you have pointed out. But I thought with all them, you know, highfalutin guys on YouTube getting out, you know, Reed Timmer, Brian Hall, got storm chasers out today. Hey, we can all come out and chase this storm too. Especially since we ain't even in the thick of it. Now that is a beautiful sight. I don't know what the camera's picking up, but my eyes and my mind are drinking it all in. Come on, folks, you can make it up this hill. You see, because we getting up here into the hills. Yeah, we getting further into the southern Appalachians. Like I said, Alabama's far from flat, folks. Well, there's not much traffic out, but it is Sunday. Church is in session. So at least better than half of the good people are in their place of worship. And that's a good thing, if that's what you wish to do. I'm a man of faith, not so much a man of religion. I have my own opinions and thoughts on that, and I'll leave them in my own mouth and mind. Most people should do that. Well, we're gonna head her on over here on Highway 50. We're gonna go further back in country. So hang on. Yep, see, there's the guy. He's got his Jeep out, testing it out. And oh my God, out here in the middle of God's nowhere, and one of them there Dollar Generals done sprouted up again. Yeah, I swear to God, they just drop seeds out of planes. And, you know, wherever one of them Dollar General seeds hits the ground, it takes root, parking lot forms, and there it goes. There's the Dollar General store. Because we way out here, where there hardly used to be anything. And there's really no reason there's anything now. Bamboo over there on the right don't like snow either. I can remember that when we got 6 inches one time, probably 10, 12 years back. And a lot of my bamboo bent all the way over to the ground. Man, some of it snapped in half. Of course, the pine trees, they took a beating. Oaks stood up to it pretty good. But the pecans didn't love it too much either. I'd spend the next couple of weeks cutting up limbs, piling everything up and burning it once again. Hey, look over there on the right. There's some of those grass-fed cows that you don't ever see. Did you know they special? According to the organic, grass-fed, free-range people, who want to charge you twice as much for all that there fine grass-fed beef. Well, down here, you know, in redneck Alabama, we've been raising our cattle on grass for as long as I can remember all my life, and I think even way before that. Amazing, ain't it? You know, sometimes us old country folk, we had the right idea all along. Now, it won't give us no credit. No, especially on social media and with the advent of the internet. You know, all the youngins, millennials and younger, they came up with that idea about grass-fed organic beef. They did. You just ask. No, they didn't. They just learned how to brand it, advertise it, commercialize it, and make a living off of talking about it. Uh-oh. Just had a cell phone alert. Let me check it out. We're gonna have to pull over here. Nope, we don't need to be driving, you know, and doing anything on a cell phone. Plus, we got a guy in his Dodge there coming. No, I mean, I hate that. That was just Verizon telling me my bill was ready. And I got all excited. I thought maybe we were having a weather alert. Like Red Timmer and Ryan Hall get. And of course, you know, Ryan Hall, he's in his storm tracking center. And the weather alert will come in, he's got these red lights all swirling and flashing. Oh yeah. And everybody around here's in a real big hurry. I got a person with a Jeep up behind me. See what they tell you? They out in full force. Oh yeah. Probably sitting there telling their wife or girlfriend, don't worry, baby. Hey, we got 4-wheel drive. We got this. Yeah. Now I remember my younger days saying words similar to that. Yep. But as you know, even many of you who live in other countries, they're getting snow, and further north, that always don't work out. And this thing about we don't know how to drive in the snow in the south, well, you'd be right. We don't, but every year I get a chuckle as I see, apparently, they don't know how to drive, or they forget every year in the north. I'm going to ease over here and check the weather radar in the focus and let this here nice bean go on by me in their Jeep. We'll just whip on in here to the lakeside and make a U-ey, gander at some of the snow. Oh, got an ice machine right there. We get ice for $2.50 if we need it. Yep, looks like the lakeside ain't doing much. Looks brand new though. And if you might wonder, this is up around the Lake Martin area, the state's second largest lake. Used to be the first. In fact, when Lake Martin Dam was put in 1926, and then the lake filled up in 1928, for a short time, and you can look this up on the internet, Lake Martin was the largest man-made lake in the country. Oh yeah. It didn't last long though. Well, I hope the old backup camera hangs in there, because I'm putting her through her paces today. You know, this is when you find out how much memory she's got, how she can take adverse weather conditions. If she's shivering a little bit, she's a little scared. Wasn't like my old GoPro Shirley. She'd been through the thick of it with me. She sort of knew what to expect going out with old Mr. Tom. But Annie here, she's a little bit nervous. She ain't ever seen this in her lifetime either. Of course, Shirley, she'd just be brushing this off as a nothing burger. Another fact of a historical note, as we're going across this ridge top on Highway 50, is we're going right through the center of Alabama gold country. Oh yeah. Way back in them olden times, Alabama had its own gold rush. Before that one over in California. Surely did. Of course, as soon as they started saying they were picking up gold by the handfuls over there in California, everybody left here to go pick it up in California. Of course, that picking up part didn't last for near as long as what they claimed. Now, they did get a lot of gold over there, but they left all the gold mines here abandoned, and for the most part they have remained that way since the 1830s. There was a little bit of gold mining up here during the Great Depression, and even back during the 60s and 70s for whatever reason. Not much. And there is some hobby gold prospecting and sluicing and that goes on. Me and my son James used to do it. You're not going to get rich. What most people don't know about gold prospecting and all that panning and all that, there's a whole lot of digging involved. And it's a whole lot of work. Well, it's just down to a light snowfall now. I was hoping as we cross through the top of this ridge, it'd really get snowing more vigorously. Of course, that might not be a good thing with all these pine trees around. We done seen some fall in the road. In fact, we're going to be driving right by Lake Martin Dam, which, if you'd like to see the historical dam constructed in 1926, you just let me know. We can make a trip up here one day. Maybe dip a line or two. You know, eat some bologna sandwiches, peanut butter and jelly, have a can of Baianas, or some of them there. You know, I can go all whole hog with y'all and break out some of my beloved beanie weenies just for y'all. And here it goes. Got me another guy. He's out in his 4-wheel drive. If you notice, that's pretty much all we saw. Yep. Everybody else out there says, yep, once they run out and panic and get the bread and the milk, ramen noodles, Campbell's soup, every type of snack, cracker, and chip they can grab, they get on home and hunker down. Only the super brave come out here like Mr. Tom and risk the snow apocalypse of 2022. And the sad part about it, with all these here storm chasers and weather wizards on social media, we're going to run out of names for the next snowstorm or ice apocalypse. We won't know what to call it. We'll have to get more creative. Uh-oh. Now we up at the higher elevations. That snow's getting more brisk. I'm hoping we can make it through. Visibility's probably only a couple of hundred feet. Ooh, that's a steep curve. It's got them little signs to tell you, slow down, don't be stupid. Now the folks got good tires on it. And then remember, it's got a time machine. See, that's why we don't need 4-wheel drive. Ooh, we're going way down. Because anything happens, we can just fire up the time machine and jump back to a minute or two before it happened to avoid it. Yeah, we engineers are pretty smart. Yeah, they out in there brand new Chevy, big old Suburban. Probably got that 4-wheel drive engaged. They'll probably pass me right here. Nope, they laying back. They're actually using some sense. See, right there, Martin Dam. We could head up that way. Now, if this wasn't, you know, SnowPocalypse, and we weren't having, and it has actually happened today, you can look it up. We've had snow-nados. I guess that's what you call a tornado in the snow. Oh yeah. Never have heard of that before. 2022, 2021 wasn't weird enough and strange. 2022 starting to look like a Hollywood disaster or apocalypse movie. Hey, we crossing the Tallapoosa River now. Uh-oh. We gotta go back. Upgrade. She's steep. Woo. Folks are struggling. Those little 125 horses are straining. Hey, I got a couple thousand people here in the Focus. Give her a break. She'll get us up here, back on top of the ridge. Oh yeah, just like I remember up home. Can't say down home, because up home would be Pennsylvania. This ain't nothing compared to upstate Pennsylvania, northwest PA, lake effect snow. If anybody's watching from up there in Erie, Bradford, they just laughing their heads off at the old man. Whew, time for some water. But I don't know who'll watch this video. But I will. I'm sure my kids will. And my grandson. And close friends and family. And I do think many of y'all. Some will just watch it to get a good laugh at old folk and southern folk. Like I said, we don't mind. Because if I make it through this snow apocalypse today, and make it back to the house, oh, I'm gonna be cooking up some fine chicken soup on my gas cook stove in my little old country kitchen that does not require any electricity. See, I can still cook. And if I couldn't, I'd just go to the shop and get one of two of my camp stoves. Or I could just go out on that thing, what do they call it? Gas grill. Or if worse came to worse, I could get out my paraseam rod and striker and make me a fire out in the backyard. Yep. Or I'd probably just take my Zippo or my Bic instead of going back to the Stone Age. Just saying. Well, we're going to head her on back to Tallahassee. We've come far enough north. Because if we continue northbound, we'd wind up there in Alex City, Sylacauga. Look at that. That's a quaint church, ain't it? A little stone church. I've always loved that church. Got quite a few there today. Probably would have had a few more. This snow wasn't covering up Alabama. And I'm sure the further you get up north, the thicker it'll get. And more dire the situation may be. For those that depend on that electricity. And that's something, if you can, especially if you live alone, like old Miss Tom. Of course, now I got the kitty crew. Gracie will be glued to the Weather Channel. Trust me, she will. Spooky, he'll be wearing out the screen on his kitty cell. And Speedy, his baby sister, sitting right beside him going, any news? Any news? And never fear, Spooky's tracking me via GPS on his cell. He's got that app downloaded, Papa Tracker. You know, you never know, maybe your kitty's got Mama Tracker, or they may have a Papa Tracker. They're secretive about their IT technology. They just want the world to keep thinking they're just a bunch of dumb cats and kitties. When actually, they're standing by to take over the world, should they need to, if we humans screwed up too much. Every once in a while, Spooky gives me a little tidbit when he goes to the Kid Crew Council security meetings. Yeah, if they have to intervene into things, it ain't gonna be pretty. And as you can see, anytime you're close to the lake, there's gonna be boats. And there is a slew of boats up here. Everywhere. Now there was a time, even since I've lived here, that people would come up to the lake only during the spring, summer, and falls. And they had places called fish camps, you know. It wasn't meant to live there all year. But over the last 25 years or so, there's been a lot permanent residents built around the lake. Me, I wish it would have stayed the way it was. When you could walk around the banks for literally miles and not see a house. Or if you were on your boat, you could motor for miles and miles and never see the home on the lakefront. Those days have come and they are gone. Well, it's starting to pick back up again. And it's nearly 11 a.m. So I don't know. It may have stalled out on me. Let me bring up my touch screen here on the focus. See what our mobile weather radar says. Oh yeah. Looks like it's stalled out right over our area. That could not be a good thing, folks. Of course, you won't see this until after it's over, unless you're here in the car. But once you do see this, and you do live this far in the south, and depending on how it all turns out, rather than burdening our Father God all the time for things we can help and make better, maybe take this as an example of if you are not prepared to heat your home, cook your meals, have water and stuff, to start making that a priority in your life, because we never know. You know, that global warming thing just may not turn out. Because once upon a time back in the 70s, I remember they were telling us we're going to be in the ice age. Yeah, and that ain't been all that long ago. It was like 78, 79. But if nothing more, even no more what we've got so far, it is a beautiful sight to behold. And I'm so proud to be alive and experiencing it once again. Oh, we've made it to Kent. Y'all been here before. Now I wonder if they'll have fireworks, you know. Fireworks stand there. No, I guess up here at the Eagles, $2.99. Come on. Yep, they're all out in there. Subarus and Rubicons. And they in a hurry. As you can see, they just, they're going to come right out of the convenience store and just run right over all of us. Now, I won't even tell you the hand gestures that were going on. Now, they were not impolite, but we, we had that stop. So yeah, we're on Upper River Road, heading back into Tallahassee. So far, we have all made it through Snowmageddon. Now I hope y'all have enjoyed the storm chasing and the ride with me and the folks today. Hey, something to do on a Sunday. Now I know some people say I should have been in church. But like I say, I'm a man of faith, not a man of religion. It all comes down to that personal choice thing. Well, I try to be a better person today than I was yesterday. And that came to me some time ago. And I'd like to think God told me that. And ever since then, that's been my plan. Not ever going to be perfect. You got to be careful being perfect. As far as I know, the only perfect one ever to walk on the earth, they took him, beat him, and nailed him to a cross. Surely they did. So be careful using that word perfect. Not that you have a chance of ever being it. There's one thing about me. Yeah, I could just come out here and ride and put you on a bunch of old music from YouTube audio library, which if you don't do, or pay for a music subscription, which you got to keep paying as long as your videos are up using music, I might add. That's where some people that ain't too knowledgeable get in trouble. But if you don't do that, or don't use it from YouTube, YouTube puts the copyright smack down on it. Yep. That's not a good thing. Happened to me one time, and I learned my lesson. Shouldn't have done it anyway. I knew better. I didn't create the song, write the music, or sing it. But, in all effect, I was stealing it by using it. And that's just the way it is, folks. It's just like people who get upset about ads on YouTube videos. They don't pay for YouTube. Well, some people do, like me. I pay YouTube Premium. And if you do YouTube Premium, you don't see commercials. And you can do that. It's just like paying for Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime. But if you want it for free, there's a cost in your time. But I just can't believe people that get all upset, you know. I can't believe I gotta watch commercials. Most of us are old enough to remember all the way back. There's always been commercials. You know, even back in the day when there was only 3 TV channels. ABC, CBS, and NBC. And, on occasion, PBS. That's all we had. We only had cartoons on Saturday morning from about 7 to noon, and then that was it. Done for the week. And you know what? That's what made us all look forward to them so much. Man, once I got a little older and had to work all the time with my daddy, it bummed me out. I sort of looked forward to really nasty Saturdays, so we didn't have to go out. Of course, it had to be really bad for Daddy didn't go out to make money, extra money on the weekends. I mean, really bad. Well, you can see down here, further south, once we get down here closer to the coastal plain, which Tallahassee sits right there on the edge between the Piedmont Plateau and the coastal plain to the Gulf Coast. You can see not much snow accumulation down here. Ain't nothing on the trees or the power lines. No snow on any of that. So, it looks like we shouldn't see a power outage down here around my area. Of course, if the main transmission lines go down further north, that could be a problem. Thankfully, you know, right there is Yates Dam and the Yates Power Plant. Excuse me. And, you know, Lake Martin, we went right below its dam. It's got a power plant, hydropower. And then we will be crossing the bridge in Tallahassee here just directly. And right above the Thurlow Dam and power plant. So I think we got that there power generation covered for now. Water levels are up pretty much to pool. We can crank out some of them kilowatts. Yep, sure can. Earlier we may have got just a little tad of snow accumulation on the trees, maybe a little ice, because I'm seeing a little bit of small branches down on the road, you know, twigs under certain trees like pecans. So yeah, could have had a little build up during the early morning hours. Focus is telling me on its weather panel it's currently 34. That's 34 Fahrenheit for any of you who live over there in those wonderful countries of Ireland, Scotland, the UK, Germany, France, Norway, Spain, Portugal. I know, I'm leaving out a bunch. Just trying to think of something that I can remember where people view old Mr. Tom. You know, I got people that watch me from New Zealand, Australia. You know, I'm ever so thankful. I love them places. I've only ever been to Australia once, but I loved every moment of it. There's some fine people. Oh yeah. They treated me well the whole time I was there. And I wasn't a tourist either. I was there on work. They just took me in like I was a regular bloke. Well, we're going to cross Graveyard Creek here in a moment, or what used to be. Now it's part of the Thurlow Reservoir, or as Tallahassee would like to call it, Lake Tallahassee. Yeah. It's still snowing though, albeit it's really faint, and it melts as soon as it hits the windshield. But I must admit, from the time I got up at 6:30 this morning till now, it's 11:04. That's probably the longest I can remember in a long, long time of it snowing here in my part of the deep south. But I'm glad I did this video, because the last snowfall we got, I didn't take videos, I just took pictures. Of course, I have them too. So we're going to head her across the Benjamin Fitzpatrick Bridge, and you can see the Thurlow Dam right on down there. The big old crane they use to take generators out. Yep. All looking all wintry. They're working on a bridge too. Must have took my advice. And she needs some repair. She needs a deep de-rusting. Yep. About 4 coats of primer this time. By brush, not spray gun. I'm sure that won't happen. And then, about 4 coats of good alkaloid paint. And she'd be done up nice, just like back in the day when she was built. Yeah, they should put that last contractor that painted her in prison. Well, we back on the east side of the river, and we did a big circle, if you want to look at it on Google. Yeah, we went up Macedonia Road, hit Highway 49 northbound, on up, heading north to Dadeville, Alabama. And then we hooked a lefty and took Highway 50. Back across from the top of the Piedmont Plateau till we intersected Highway 229, where again we took another lefty and went southbound. Upon reaching the intersection there in Kent, we took another lefty. We took a lot of lefties today, didn't we? I think everything we took pretty much was a left. That's sort of funny, ain't it? But then we come on down Upper River Road there and came into the center of Old Town. Now we're heading back up what used to be Main Street, Highway 14, once again heading north up to my old home place, my little piece of God-given heaven in the deep south of Alabama. for which I am ever so thankful. Because I know right now it's singing my name. And it's there to keep me warm and dry. Woo! Now, I don't often do it, but I think I'll splurge for a second pot of coffee today. Just for all of you who came along for the ride. Oh, starting to pick up again. I can barely see the Bolero sign. Yep, here comes another four-wheel drive, big Dodge. Got his crash bar on. Well, I'm telling you, we break out the heavy-duty trucks whenever it snows in the South. Yeah, even I laugh. Because I remember when I lived up north too, we'd make fun of the folks in the South when the snow would come. It was our entertainment. And you know what? Times haven't changed, I'm sure. But I like the way we do it. We close her all down once it starts sticking to the ground. And then we just have a holiday. Never lasts more than a day or two. Pretty much anything in life can stop for a day or two. Or it used to. Uh-oh, got some limbs down there. Yep. Well, y'all, that's it for the SnowPocalypse of 2022. For now. So let's head her on in. Now I'll make up a pot of, I think, well, let's go with some green tea and coffee. And I got some bagels still left. And no, I still got some Jack's biscuits too. And I know how to heat them up in the nuclear oven. So they're all just like fresh. Hey, we got butter. And because some of you, we got some really fine jams. Homemade. One that I'm really partial to, it's a mulberry jam that Karen sent me. And it's yummy. I'd rather not share it, but just for y'all, I might give you a little taste, okay? So yeah, come on in. We'll warm up, we'll have some tea. You know, we'll sit around watching Weather Channel and Weather Radar and watch everybody lose their minds today during the SnowPocalypse of January 2022. Woo! Still coming down. But it's really wet. Hey guys, what's that white stuff all over you? Huh? Is it freaking you out? Huh? Oh, you don't like it, Speedy? You don't? They keep shaking it off. Well, come on. We can head her on in. Hey, where you going, Magoo? Magoo? You don't want to come in? No. Okay. See, they're not snow cats. They don't know what to make of it. Well, y'all, that's it. Me and the kitty crew got to get in. And oh gracious, she'll be losing her mind. We've been gone for a couple hours now. I don't know how many times she's texted my phone. Then I finally told her, just give it Spooky and download that app, Papa Tracker. And then she could follow along with all of us too. So y'all, until I see you on that next video, should we survive the SnowPocalypse, y'all take care. Stay Stay warm wherever you are. Stay safe. May God bless you, your friends, family, and loved ones. Goodbye for now. Whew, okay, guys. You want to come in? I need to get you some more food. Okay. You know, you got your barn here. You got your other barn in the carport. Or you can come in. Choice is yours, because I'm going in. It's just too chilly for Papa, okay? Whew. Later, all.